everyone, welcome to Disastrously Domestic. I'm Jessica, and this is my podcast all about my crafty and knitting, mostly knitting life. I feel a little weird recording because I've been doing Vlogmas and I feel like a lot of what I'm going to show, I feel like I've already showed you guys, but I realize not everyone watches vlogs and aren't into that sort of thing, so I did decide that I should probably record a proper podcast episode for those people that do want to see my knitting, but don't want or care to see me doing stuff during the day, because that could be boring for some people. I understand. I personally am loving everyone's Vlogmas videos if you're doing Vlogmas and I happen to follow you. Especially, I think the only Vlogmas videos that I am watching are knitting people, so it's just fun to see you guys get festive, no matter what your religion is. I feel that Vlogmas is pretty... it can be pretty inclusive, I think, despite the name, right? I hope. So yeah, if you're not watching those, here's a proper episode for you. You're welcome. You can find me on Instagram as disastrously_domestic, and you can find me on Ravelry as Sugar Sticks. Proper spelling of sticks and sugar for that one. And I do have a Ravelry group that I never, ever look at. My bad. But you know how it is. So let's just hop into my knitting whips, because I have quite a few. First things first, I have one that I showed you guys in my last episode. It is living in my Scorpio bag. So cool, because who's a Scorpio? I'm a Scorpio. That's right. Don't you forget it. Well, that's not it. Hold on. I lied. This is the wrong bag. It's in this cute thing. I picked this up at a craft fair. Called the Urban Craft Uprising. It was here in Seattle, and it was pretty awesome. Then I got this bag there. But living inside is my Negan-inspired scarf for my husband. And this is the Trillion Shawl by Martina Bem. So this is kind of how long it is now. So it's not quite long enough, but it's getting there. You can kind of see the lace pattern happening on the edges. And like I said, this is Negan inspired. The yarn is just red Targhee wool from Abstract Fibers, I think. I bought this at a local fiber festival, but I think it's Abstract Fibers was the name. And if you don't know, you will in, a few seconds. I'm a huge Walking Dead fan, and I'm a huge Negan fan. Boy, I like him. So I decided that my husband needed a red scarf like Negan's. Although this is not anything like Negan's, but it's red. So, there you go. Who's sad that Negan shaved, Walking Dead fans? Who's sad? I read the comics, I get that he doesn't have facial hair, but Negan's beard was my favorite character, and they killed him in the season finale. Okay. I'm still mad about it. I'm still upset. Okay. I'd never worked with Targhee before, and it's a little, I don't know if this is true of all Targhee or just this Targhee, but it's definitely a stiffer fabric. And I'm using, I think, size 6s with a sport weight. And usually when I do that, it's pretty loosey-goosey feeling. But this feels very like, not like rough, but definitely a denser fabric. It's very springy. So that'll be good because sometimes my husband rides his bike to work. And while it doesn't get super frigidly cold in Seattle, it is a little cold right now. We did have a tiny bit of snow. But there's rain and, you know, wind when you're riding a bike. So I thought that would be nice for him to have a scarf. And he could look like Negan. Okay, so that's that. The pattern is Trillion by Martina Bem. I feel like maybe I didn't say that, but maybe I did. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, other projects. Oh no. The next project I wanted to talk about, I seem to have misplaced. And I don't want to move on to the next thing because these things kind of go together. So hold on a second. Ugh, I'm back. Excuse me while I grunt and groan because I decided to pop a squat on the floor so you guys can see my tree. But I'm pregnant and, you know, sitting on the floor has become increasingly difficult since, here's a rant for you, I'm huge. I feel like I'm huge already. Like, I don't know what happened. If I lived near my family, there is no way I could have kept this a secret through my first trimester, and I really, really wanted to keep it a secret because of health issues in the past. But yeah, it's a blessing that I live on an opposite side of the country from the rest of my family because they would have known. I'm huge. Rant over. Rant over for now, I should say. Okay, so since I'm making my husband a Negan scarf, I've had Walking Dead on the brain, and okay, see, I'm out of breath. Do you hear me? You hear me like panting here? Guys, okay. It's only gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. Okay. Walking Dead on the brain, browsing Instagram as one does, if they're me especially, and happened to see that Lolo did an update to her shop, and she shared one of her yarns called Lucille. So if you don't watch The Walking Dead, I will tell you who Lucille is. Lucille is a very important character on the show. She is Negan's barbed wire wrapped baseball bat, and she is awesome. His words, totally spot on. He uses her to beat the holy crap out of people and make them completely unrecognizable to their friends and family. Yeah, but she's a special girl, Lucille. And so this yarn was dyed inspired by Negan's bat. There's red for the blood. There's some darker gray bits. But this is on her cashmere, and it's a little bit lighter, I feel like, than some of the other ones. I've seen the same colorway on different bases, and they seem a little deeper and darker. But I wanted cashmere because Lucille's a special girl. She needs to be in cashmere. So, with that, I am making myself a scarf or shawl. And I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see the stitch definition here. I will try to spread it as much as I can, and the Christmas tree is twinkling behind it, so hopefully you guys can see this. But I decided to knit the Across the Pond shawl by Mina Phillip. And her sample used a very speckly variegated yarn, so I figured this would be a decent choice for that. And I think the more that I work on it, you'll be able to see it a little more. But it does have a border. Basically, I'm going to use all of this for this stitch pattern. And then there's a border, and I will decide later what sort of color I want for that. I see a really dark brown, black kind of color maybe. But who knows? I'm not there yet. It's gonna take a while. So, but man, working with cashmere, well, it's merino, nylon, and cashmere. It's nice, guys. It's real nice. I love cashmere. I feel like such a lady when I work with cashmere. So that's that. What's next? I have 2 hose. Can you believe it? I like never have almost finished things. But I did finish 1 sock. This is the Rye sock pattern by Tin Can Knits. It has a garter stitch kind of panel. I continued my garter stitch onto the toe just because I do what I want. And I did shorty socks. This is Madeline Tosh DK in the Cathedral colorway. One of my favorite colorways. Isn't it gorgeous? This took me 2 days. Did I start the second one? No. No, I did not. Why would I do that? No, I did not start the second one. I will. But these are so squishy and nice. Yes. And I think I'm actually going to knit 2 pairs of these. I have another ball of Tosh DK in Edison bulb that I've been wanting to use, and I feel like some nice squishy socks might be the way to go. Yeah, maybe, if I'm not tired of them. But like I said, 2 days. Like, highly recommend this pattern. 2 days. 2. Okay. 2. Okay. So that's 1 hoe. My second hoe I'm so excited about. You guys. Oh my gosh. I knit a Pixel Rise sock. Let's get a close up on that stitch pattern, the color work. Can't tell if I'm doing this well or not. So, yes. These were fun. I did an afterthought heel, and my heel, toes, and cuffs are Knit Pick Stroll. And then all of these are minis. So some of them are in my scrap blanket, some I purchased for these socks. But the idea with this was to do kind of festive socks that are almost Christmassy, but could also be translated to any timing. I mean, I'm gonna wear these all year long. And I got super addicted to the pattern, and I just kept going. And I swear, I have never knit a pair of socks this tall before. And this took me like no time at all. Like, you finish one, and then you gotta do the next one. Like, you gotta join your next color. It's so fun. So highly recommend the Pixel Rise pattern by Kemper Ray. W-R-A-Y on that one. So cute. Not free, but also not terribly expensive pattern, so. And it's worth it, because seriously, you can make so many of these. Have I started sock 2? No. Again, why would I make a second sock? Who does that? Who has time for that. But I do have a plan for my next one. I'm going to use the same sequence, but I'm just going to reverse it so that you'll be able to see pretty much all the colors show up in the leg at some point. So let me pick my nose here. It's a scratch! I was scratching! Sorry, we've been watching Seinfeld, and I forgot how funny that show was, but there's an episode where he was like this, scratching, but like this. You guys remember that? Do you guys remember that episode? And someone saw him and dumped him because they thought he was disgusting. You guys, don't be disgusted by people picking their nose. It's natural, okay? You got boogers, you gotta get them out. That's how I approach life. You gotta do what you gotta do. Proud nose picker here, okay? Alright, so that is my second hoe. Yay for me. Everybody cheer, everybody clap. Because I am winning life right now. It does feel really good to be back into hardcore knitting because, like I said in my last episode, I was having all this nausea and all these pregnancy symptoms, and I feel like now, other than being tired and achy, I'm good. I'm good. So, knitting has taken over my life again. Next thing that I do want to show, it doesn't have a whole lot of progress, so it might not be even worth showing at this point. What is this? What is this? Oh my god. What a mess. Get it together, Jessica. Okay, I started a hat for Warren, and it's a color work pattern. It looks like little H's right now, but it's actually, they're kind of like dashes. And I forget what yarn this is, but it is acrylic and alpaca blend, which is good for a kid. It's so soft. But this is the Dashes Hat pattern by Alice Cayetano. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, not much happening. It does have a pom-pom on top, the pattern does. But my boy is a very, I've probably mentioned this before, he's a very no bells and whistles kind of boy. He's a very serious child. He doesn't like his shirts to be flashy or to have any kind of like thing that people might notice. Geometric patterns are okay, so I feel fine with this very like overall pattern. But a pom-pom, I don't think he's going to be into. He is a Cancer sun with Capricorn in both his ascendant and moon position. So he's a serious, you know, no nonsense kind of boy sometimes. So yeah, but this is happening slowly. I want my boy to have a hat. Because I'm a good mom, right? I try. I try. I never knit for Warren, I feel like, so I'm glad that I went ahead and started this for him. That's everything except for my blankets, which I'm going to show right now. I did put in a few squares on my Cozy Memory mitered square blanket. It's getting kind of big. These two hanging here are new. And then on this row, the two on the end are new. And the two on this end are new. I try to put a stitch marker on ones that I haven't shown, but I'm running out of stitch markers, guys. So I need to get more. But what I'm doing with mine is it has a central double decrease, and I'm making them kind of fan out from the center. So this eventually will just be a giant X kind of shape happening. And I love this thing. I'm knitting it on straight needles. These are size 3. 3.25 millimeter needles. These are my signature straights with the stiletto tips. I love these needles. I love them. I want more of them. So that's that. It's so fun, but honestly, I'm knitting my squares to be larger than a lot of the squares that I see people do. These are 61 stitches when you start. And while you decrease every other row by 2 stitches, they still are not like super popcorny. I have to, I mean, it takes a long time to knit one. Whereas I've seen blankets with smaller squares and people are like, I make one and then another and I just can't stop. I'm like, that's not the case with this one because they are larger. And I like that they're larger because I have a lot left over when I knit socks. Because I don't knit my socks super tall. I don't usually wear super tall socks. So I tend to have a lot left over, and also my feet aren't very big. I'm a 7, which is average. I mean, average size foot. So yeah, I just wanted to use more. So I made my squares bigger. And I like that you can really see all the colors really, really well. But yeah, it's not as easy for me to just sit down. I feel like when I make a square, I have to finish the square, and that's not always going to be something that I could do in one sitting. So yeah, I haven't been as interested in working on it, unfortunately. But do not be upset for me, because I have rediscovered my love of crochet. And I have been working on my crochet granny rectangle. Let's give like a little sweep here. Do 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 do. Boom. So there it is. I'm using, minis. I couldn't tell you what I'm using. I did recently order a set of random minis from Gnome Acres, and I promptly wound them into this magic cake. Doesn't that look cool? Not sure what happened with my ball winder there, but that looks awesome. Yeah, so this is a mixture of minis that I had and the new minis that I picked up from Gnome Acres, and I'm really having fun working on it. Yeah. You can see why. It is gorgeous. And it works up a lot faster than those squares do. So I do feel like, because it's crochet, I can pick it up and put it down. I've got just a cake of whatever, so I don't have to wind anything when I mean, obviously when I run out here, I'm going to make another cake and do that. But yeah, they're all joined up by magic knots, and this is a lot of fun. So that is it for my whips, my knitting whips. It's quite a lot, I realize, compared to last time, which makes me feel pretty good because I felt like a slacker. So I guess now I can move on to FOs, but I don't have any, so we're not going to do that either. Let's move on instead to acquisitions, because I do have some new yarn happiness that arrived. I showed you guys my Lucille yarn. And this is, you know, like butter. This is fantastic. Lolo did it. Check her out. She has a Negan yarn too. She has a lot of zombie themed stuff. Just really beautiful yarns. So, fellow Walking Dead fan. Obviously, I'm gonna like her. So, we can bond. Okay, we can bond over that. So the next yarn that I got is in this adorable bag, which if you have been watching my Vlogmas videos, you will have already seen pretty much everything that I'm going to show you. But I got this bag at Tolt Yarn and Wool, which is in Carnation, Washington. That is where we got our lovely tree. But we went there. See, knitters will understand. You guys will understand. I knew about Tolt Yarn and Wool. I love their aesthetic. I follow them on Instagram. You know, it's one of those yarn stores that I have wanted to visit pretty much since I moved here a year ago, or a year and a half ago. Wow. So when we were trying to find a farm to get our tree from, I was like, why don't we see if we can find a tree farm by Tolt? And there was one literally right down the street from Tolt. So that's where we ended up going, and I was so happy. So they had these cute project bags. It's the Snoqualmie Valley, which is where it is, and has all these little landmarks and things. And you've got the bear on there. There's a Seattle sign on there. It's just really cute. Had to have that because this you're not going to find other places. So of course I had to. But what did I find? They have a ton of Woolfolk yarn. They seem to focus on having really natural yarns. Like they've got the Brooklyn Tweed and the Woolfolk and Snoqualmie Valley yarns, or some, you know, local stuff, which is kind of very cool. But I got this. This is Woolfolk Snow, and this gorgeous black and white marled. And this seriously feels like a cashmere to me. Like, it feels so flippin' soft. I can't even handle it. I want a bathtub of this. Rub it on my body. Okay, I love it. And this is 100% Avis 21 Ultimate Merino with a copyright symbol. Yeah. So nice. And, same store, I picked up this. It's an alpaca puff. I'm in love. It is a cloud. It is a fluffy cloud. It looks like a tribble. I wouldn't mind a bathtub of these either. So soft. But I think they kind of go nicely together. This is a gray. This is a black and white, which kind of blends into a gray, right? If you think about it. Wouldn't that be an amazing hat? Guys, that's the plan. I was originally going to make like mitts or something with this, but then I found the puff and I was like, oh no. That's a hat for mama. Queen Bee needs a damn hat. So yes, I haven't started this obviously, but I just sometimes like just do this and get a happy because they're so soft. Okay, and I'm dropping them. But very important acquisitions there. Love it. Love it. Couple more things. I saw that Knit Picks had a new yarn, and it is the Chroma Twist Fingering. So I decided to try these. I picked two colors. These were going to be socks. Socks. But then when they arrived, I saw them together side by side, and I think they go nicely. So I still haven't decided if I'm going to do socks or some kind of a cropped sweater, cardigan, or a shawl maybe. I don't know. Because they're very cute. But they'd also make really nice socks, I think. So I can't decide what to do. Watch this space, I guess. We'll see. But yeah, they seem really nice. They're similar to like a Zauberball, I guess, is kind of what they're trying to accomplish here. I don't know. So those are nice. Fingering weight. How many yards? Enough for socks. 437 yards. So 2 more yarns. I really wanted to try opal. So I got on simplysockyarn.com and I picked out 2. Yeah, I'm not sure the colors on these. I think they're just numbers. But this one has a bird on it. Put a bird on it. This one has a frog on it. I think this one is going to end up being for Max. As soon as I finish his socks that I have on the needles for him, I'm planning to just immediately start a new pair for him. And it will be with this. But yeah, I'm excited to try these. I've heard nice things about opal. It already feels a lot softer than the Regia that I'm knitting his other socks out of. Because that's the one thing that I am not liking about working on his socks, is that they are very, very tough yarn. Which is good because he's a man and, you know, treats his socks like a man. So, but yeah, these feel a little bit softer, but still sturdy. So I am very excited to try those. Yeah, that's all of my acquisitions. So this was a lot of stuff happening. I am a little out of breath. I mean, that's kind of my life right now, but I get winded so easily. But yeah, that's all my knitting. But I did want to briefly talk about something. Sort of a plan for this channel, with it being December and the new year coming. This isn't really like a resolution kind of thing, but just something that I'm gonna start doing here. I've been watching a lot of FlossTube videos, which if you don't know what those are, they are sort of like knitting podcasts, but with cross-stitch. And I know that I have shown my cross-stitching on this podcast many times before, and many of you probably like to see that sort of thing, but some of you might not, and I know that not all cross-stitchers knit, and not all knitters cross-stitch, and while some people might like to see both, a lot of people might not like to see both. So I was going to show a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but a couple of my cross-stitch projects that I've been working on right now, but I decided I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to start my own FlossTube series. So obviously, if you're into it and you're a knitter, awesome. It'll just be a separate video, probably published once a month, and I will just go nuts showing you all my cross-stitch progress. I feel like it'll reach more cross-stitchers that way, whereas just including it in my knitting podcast, I'm reaching knitters who cross-stitch, but not just cross-stitchers, because I feel like they're not going to want to sit through all the, you know, you get it, okay. I'm over-explaining, but yeah. So I'm going to do that, and I might actually try to record the first episode today while I have the house to myself. My husband and son went to a computer museum and I took the time to, the quiet time, to record an episode for y'all, all y'all. So that is coming down the pipe very soon, I hope. And I do hope that people will be interested in watching that. And I hope to make some new cross-stitching friends as well, because I've met a lot of really awesome people who are knitters, and that's great. And I'd like to do the same with my embroidery and stitching. So that will be happening, and I'm excited about it. That is about it. Here at the end, I am going to include a cute little video. I think it's around 10 minutes long. So if you aren't wanting to watch it, you know, that's all right. It is going to be part of my Vlogmas Day 18 video as well, because it was a huge part of my day. It made me really happy. And what happened was that Warren, my son, he's 6, he asked to learn how to knit today. And so I took a little video of me kind of teaching him how to knit. And I'm so proud of him. He knit 2 rows with a lot of help from Mama, a lot of guidance. I was very much holding his hands and, you know, working him through it. We did a rhyme, and yeah, so I do want to put that in here because it's kind of cute, and he was pretty excited. He wanted to do it because he wants to do a time-lapse video of him knitting. And the reason for that is that I've been doing Vlogmas, and usually he's not very interested in my podcast because I tend to record it when he's not home, unless I absolutely have to record with him home, because he does interrupt, and you know, he's a 6-year-old boy, right? So, but he's been very much a part of my Vlogmas, and he's intrigued by it, and he wants to make videos like Mama. So I think it's just like, you know, warms my heart. And he wanted to knit specifically, and I just thought that was so sweet. And I had tried to teach him to knit before, and I don't think I even got him to knit a single stitch, but I had the little needles and everything for him. So we pulled those out and we knit a few rows. So kind of a nice, cute way to end the episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will say one thing. I'm not sure. I watch a lot of like mommies on YouTube, and I feel like they're all so sweet and they're all so patient. And you guys might have noticed about me, I'm not that way. So I hope that I don't seem like I'm being mean to him at any point. I tried so hard. I tried so hard to be nice and to be patient with him. But, you know, just know that I was so supportive of him. I'm so excited. I hope he continues to practice every day. But I might seem at times to have like an expression of like, oh my God, what are you doing? I hope it doesn't come across that way, but I felt that way while it was happening. Like, oh my God, what are you doing? So I hope I masked that well, okay? This is very honest. I'm being so honest with you guys right now. I don't know how some of you moms stay sweet. I don't know how you do it. But the love is there, and I am so proud of him. So enjoy, and until next time, happy knitting. Keep an eye out for my floss tube, and happy holidays, right? Hey everybody.
What?
Put down the dog toy. Well, go sit on my lap. You want to sit next to me so that you can move your arms around. Tell them what we're about to do.
We're about to knit.
You're gonna learn, right?
Yeah, I can learn. It's my first time learning.
Yeah, so I've got a cute little center pole ball that I made. And this is Cascade Superwash Sport yarn.
I was gonna put a time lapse one in my.
You want to do a time lapse, but we're gonna do that after you learn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Okay.
I was gonna put it in my Vlogmas video.
It's gonna go in your Vlogmas video. Warren loves the Vlogmas, by the way. Okay, so I'll show you like this, okay? So here's a rhyme. Do you think you can remember the rhyme?
Mm-mm.
No? Don't look at the camera, look here. Okay? In through the front door. Okay? And then once around back. Peek through the window. And off jumps Jack. You see that? So in through the front door. Once around the back. Peek through the window. And off jumps Jack. Okay, so while you have it in like that, so that's in through the front door, you want to let go here. Grab your yarn. Grab your yarn. Okay, and then you go hold it tighter up here. Once around the back, so you're going to loop it around this blue. Okay, now let go of your yarn. Peek through the window. So you got to kind of hook it with the blue. You need to hold up higher. And you dropped your yarn. Do the yarn, wrap it around again. And you just knit a stitch. But look how I hold it. Look how I hold it. Like this. Can you hold it like this?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta relax those hands a little bit. Okay, now this one. Okay, can you say the rhyme with me?
Mm-hmm.
In through, say it. In through the front door. Grab your yarn. Once around the back. Good. And then what's next?
Peek through the window.
Peek through the window. Okay. Peek through the window. And then what?
Off goes Jack.
Off goes Jack. So you kind of gotta pull this stitch off the red needle. Perfect.